A lot of this is going to be the cost of doing business because Mac Brown is a completely different guy than Bill Belichick. Hello, everyone. My name is Nathan. I am one half of your Hill Brothers, and currently I am at the beach. It's dark outside. You can't see. I actually tried to set all this stuff up earlier today. It completely whitewashes my camera, so I was like, you know what? I'll wait till the evening. We'll hop on here, and we will talk Carolina football and everything that's going on in the actual program, and also now that we got some guys in the NFL as well. A lot of good news coming out of that. We had a guy go in the first round, Mr. Omari in Hampton. I'm an LA Rams fan. He's coming to LA. It's the wrong LA, but at least he gets to play at SoFi Stadium. So really excited for Omari in Hampton. He goes pick number 22 overall, first round, and is following natural means, man. He's headed over there, and I have a feeling they're going to do pretty good building that team. Jim Harbaugh, his second year there as the Chargers head coach. Getting in some more guys, some playmakers. They got Amarian in the first round, and in the second round, I forget exactly the wide receiver that they got, but they got the highly touted wide receiver in the second round, giving Justin Herbert some pieces to be able to work with and hopefully build that team up as they try and build the Chargers up to make them a contender out there in the AFC. But boy, North Carolina, we got a lot of things that we could talk about right now. And North Carolina is at the forefront of all of it. I want to talk about these NFL guys as well, and I think we're going to go ahead and quickly start with them because we can get them in and out of the way really quickly. But also, if you look down into the description, if you're on YouTube, I don't know how it's exactly set up for Twitter, but I have put down there in the description, I was actually invited to be on a video from the Ohio podcast, the OHIO podcast. Those guys over there, Eric Boggs, the guy that recruited us into the College Huddle with all the other collegiate podcasters, had me on as I was driving down on Thursday, and wanted me to talk about Beau Atkinson. So the link to that is in the description. You guys go check that out. Those guys do a great job covering the Ohio State Buckeyes. I believe a few of their viewers are going to be popping in over here from time to time. And if you are, welcome. All you Buckeyes out there, good to have you. And it was a good time talking about Beau Atkinson. I am personally glad that he is in a place now that he can compete for championships. He's playing at the level that all of us want, our best players to be able to play at. And DJ Ray is in the comments already talking about it. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and put this up right now. This will be made a video post the stream, and I still want you guys to comment and let me know your thoughts and opinions. And I'll try to keep, all the comments that are coming in. I'll try to post them and try to react to them as much as I possibly can. But question is, what do you think about everything happening at UNC? What do you feel about it right now? DJ Ray is in the comments really quickly, and he's talking about bring back Mac. Alan says no thanks. And DJ Ray says, hey, we're losing our best players, which is a topic of conversation. We're going to get to it. But very quickly, let's run through all these NFL guys really quickly. They deserve it. And I want to make sure I get all of their places correct. Starting off with, obviously, we've already talked about it, Omari in Hampton. First round pick, number 22, going to the Los Angeles Chargers. I think he's going to do a great job over there. Omari in Hampton is just a beast. And you put him paired with a good quarterback in Justin Herbert, like Drake May. He was paired with Drake May, which I thought would have been nuts if they would have been able to get him. But they got the Ohio State running back. Was it Judkins, I believe it was, that they got out of there? But outside of that, unfortunately, nobody else got drafted from the Tar Heels. I was kind of hoping a guy like Elijah Huzzy and a guy like Kamen Rucker would make it there towards the end. Unfortunately, that did not happen. But after the draft was over, after all the rounds were done, some people got signed. Just about everybody got signed, except for one. And we'll talk about that one in a second because it's absolutely ridiculous. I figured he would be the first person taken off this board if he wasn't drafted already. But first and foremost, we have Power Eccles got signed by the Chicago Bears. He's headed over there to the Windy City. This one I am so excited about, and I can't wait to see him in action. I'm really hoping he gets a fair shot, and I would love to see him in the rotation for him. But my Los Angeles Rams, whose house? Rams house. And now it's Willie Lampkin's house as well, as they signed Willie Lampkin to the Los Angeles Rams. Super excited to see what that kid does, man. He is a dog. He is an animal. I'm also in a bunch of Rams like Facebook groups and chats and everything, and everybody's excited to see. They saw his stats, and they're like, bump this guy's size. Oh, we don't care about the size. Get this guy on the field. He's an animal, and that Willie Lampkin is. We know that for sure over here at North Carolina. But also, Elijah Huzzie is going to join Derek Stingley Jr. over there and head to the Houston Texans. I thought that was a pretty good spot for them. I think they're rebuilding some of their secondary over there. If I could be wrong, but Huzzie is a guy, again, kind of undersized, but played the position like he was oversized. Man, he was awesome. He flies around the field. He covers up wide receivers, and he makes consistent plays. Also joining Sam Howell, who got traded over to Minnesota to the Vikings, is Bryson Nesbitt. That's also a guy I figured that may would get drafted sort of late, maybe in that seventh round, mid to late seventh round. But unfortunately, it didn't happen for him. But hey, he's over there. He's over the program. He got better this past year with being able to block, as well as he's a route runner. He's kind of like that hybrid wide receiver tight end. And he has a chance of making a name. That's for sure. Also, J.J. Jones joins the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm actually very excited for him. We didn't know if he was going to get a shot at this level. He's a guy, I kind of comped him to a Robert Woods-esque type. He's not a guy that's going to beat you downfield, but he is definitely a guy that can be what I like to call that multi-tool. We'll talk about another wide receiver, the same thing as well. But a multi-tool that can get around in the field. You can put him in the slot. He can go do some dirty work for you, and he can make some catches as well, and make some catches down the sideline, as we saw that numerous times at North Carolina. I thought it was absolutely amazing, the production he was able to put up there. Also going with him, his Tar Heel brother, John Copenhaver's headed over there to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Looking forward to seeing what he does. I think he has a chance of getting some playing time as well. But one of the teams that had a lot of controversy and are trying to figure out what they're going to do with their team and their quarterback room and everything else, the New York Giants. And they added wide receiver Nate McCullum. And just after the draft, very excited to see what Nate McCullum does over there, see if he's able to get himself some time. And also, one more person is joining the New York Giants, and that's Jahvaree Ritzie. Announced that a little bit earlier. He is headed over there along. I forgot, Des Evans also got signed by the Houston Texans, I do believe, as well. So all of those guys have been signed. Only one remains, and that is Kamen Rucker. And I think that is... that's a crime, in my opinion. Kamen Rucker was awesome for North Carolina, if you guys don't remember. This guy was all over the place. He was consistently getting after the quarterback, getting sacks, disrupting plays. I talked about him a lot, paired with Beau Atkinson in the video I did with the Ohio State podcast, where they talked about, when you pair those two guys together and they have a similar set over there at Ohio State, when you pair guys like that together, then they're going to destroy people. And sure enough, they did. They got after. The psycho package was in full effect multiple times this past year under Jeff Collins, which, Jeff Collins had a couple of good things that he gave us at North Carolina's, and that was definitely one of them. So really excited to see what happens with those guys. Hopefully they make some playing time. Hopefully they get on the main rosters. I'll be curious to see what they do, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing everybody playing at their best, and hope to see them on the field. Now let's turn over to the elephant in the room, shall we? Let's turn over to North Carolina football, the actual one, the collegiate program that is ran and headed by Bill Belichick and Michael Lombardi. I need a drink before I start talking about these guys. Needless to say, There have been a ton of players that have hit the transfer portal. A ton of players that have hit the transfer portal. North Carolina has always been known as a place that has a high retention rate. We've known this. We don't lose a ton in the spring portal. If you're going to lose them, you're going to lose them in the fall or in the winter, in the brand new year, if you will. You're going to lose them there. You're not going to lose them spring. It's very rare that you do that. But a lot of guys have left. A ton. I don't have an updated list because it seems to be updating every single second. We've had some true freshmen leave. Notably, we've had guys like Beau Atkinson being number one, Amari Campbell being another that has hit the transfer portal. Michael Short, the linebacker room's gotten hit in a big time. We already saw the Law brothers. As a matter of fact, the last live stream that I did, the Law brothers hit the portal the second I got out of that stream. And I told you guys that would end up happening. Something would end up happening that after I done got off stream. But I'm currently looking up a updated list currently as we speak. I'm pretty sure that Great Day Tar Heel has something, I believe, because they've been doing a really good job with that kind of thing. Them and Chris Smith and all them have been doing a really good job with that. But we did get in some brand new guys today. We got an Isaiah Johnson out of Arizona, defensive tackle. That was one thing that has been definitely noted by insiders and everything else, that we definitely need a ton of defensive linemen. We need some defensive linemen because the defensive linemen are getting pushed around by the offensive line in the spring event, whatever the case. DJ Ray, I see your comment, and I'm going to come back to that in a second because, oh, by the way, Des Evans went to the Titans, not to the Texans. I'm sorry, wrong T. But you got Jordan Holland, his offensive tackle, along from UAB recently. You also picked up, what's old buddy's name? The one out of Florida. We just got one out of Florida yesterday. DeAndre Robinson. I think that's how you say that, and I'm just going to roll with it. DeAndre Robinson. He also joined defensive tackle or defensive lineman out of Florida. Got 3 years of eligibility left. Here we go. Spring transfer portal in and out. So I'm just going to read the list. Also, this is provided by Great Day Tar Heel, and he posted it 4/26, which was yesterday. Here we go. Beau Atkinson out. Zach Rice, who's getting a ton of D1 Power 4. He's got a visit to Syracuse. Vanderbilt's been in contact with him, I believe. He's been a number of people that have come after Zach Rice, which, hey, I'm really hoping the best for the kid. I truly am. Cruz Law and also Cade Law. Zion Ferguson, that was another one. We talked about him a little bit in the last one. Malachi Hamrick, Gavin Blackwell, Jaffer Murphy. That one hurt my feelings. I like Jaffer Murphy. I liked his film that he kept putting out. I like that. 1 year eligibility left. I don't know where he'll go. Christian Hamilton. That's one that hurts, especially out of the wide receiver room. Now, thankfully, the receivers have stayed pretty consistent. We did have Evan Haynes right here join the portal as well. I hate to see that. Also, Julian Randolph, the tight end, hit the portal. Adam Samaha, that was the kicker that came in from Michigan this past spring portal, or I guess you can say fall portal or winter portal, the end of season portal. Amari Campbell, we talked about him. Ryan Ward hit just yesterday. Rodney Laura. Curtis Simpson, which I hate to see him go. I feel like he had a good future here. Jarrell Cobb. Michael Short, that one hurts my feelings. Terry Ezela, that is the D lineman that originally was committed to Wake Forest, but flipped to us. And after they had the coaching change, Desmond Jackson hit. Joel Starlings, hate to see that. Liam Boyd, not really surprised. Ryan Brown, who came from Purdue to North Carolina, had a cup of coffee and said, all right, peace out. I'm going back to Purdue, literally. Lucas Asada as well. That rounds out the list that I've currently saw so far. I think there's been a couple of them that have been out of the recruiting class that's coming in this year, but they just there was so many of them, especially that were added late, and it all just kind of hit at one time. So far that we have Mackay Bayer. I'm going with that name. Gbayor. Gabayer. I'm gonna say Bear. I think. I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't see this and get mad at me. He's the one that's coming in from Missouri. Was a transfer to Missouri this past season from Nebraska, and now is coming to Carolina after his 1 year at Missouri. Also, Adrian Wilson, the wide receiver. I forget exactly where everybody's coming in from. It's been a lot. Jacob Horvath, the punter, that's a wide receiver. Adrian Wilson is a wide receiver. Jacob Horvath is a punter. Reese Verhoff is the kicker. Gio Lopez, that was the big one that we talked about. The quarterback coming in from South Alabama. Benjamin Hall, that is the running back, I believe, from Michigan. He was the bowl starter for them this past bowl game that they just played. Dayton Sneed, a wide receiver out of Tennessee. Jordan Hall, that is the one from UAB. And Joseph Merpoi, I forget exactly where he came from. I can't remember. Boy, I am looking like crazy to try and find it very fastly. But him also with the guys that I just mentioned that came in, the Florida transfer and the bless it. Who's the other guy? There's so many people that have come in. It's ridiculous. I just mentioned him. I'll get back to him in a minute. But tons of guys that are coming in right now for North Carolina. A lot on the defensive line. We've saw this. And now it's all about building your team. Isaiah Johnson, Arizona. Thank you. Tons of guys coming in. Tons of guys leaving right now. A ton more leaving than they are coming in. And let's talk about it. DJ Ray, I want to go to your comment really quickly. BB was a waste of money. I don't think we can necessarily say that right now because, and this is something that I was asked about on the Ohio State podcast. They asked me, they said, hey, why would a guy like Beau Atkinson leave? Now, those are legit questions, and those are questions that kind of I don't even understand. Why would a guy like Amari Campbell leave? You know, these are guys you kind of felt like were lifers, are definitely the best players on your team. Bill Belichick doesn't want to lose them. You obviously know that. They would be crazy to say, yeah, we just don't need you. And to see that talent, they're not sitting there saying, you know, leave. This is they're making the decision. Well, the question is why. And from the information that I've gathered, just by having conversations, listening to people, a lot of this is going to be the cost of doing business because Mac Brown is a completely different guy than Bill Belichick. We can clearly see that. He came in and he took the professional approach, if you will. This is a pro league. We are a pro team. I think they call themselves the 33rd pro team, something of that nature. That is who Michael Lombardi and Bill Belichick want to make this team to be. And that's not going to fit everybody. Mac Brown was a very personable person. Mac Brown was great with the media, with the parents, with the players. He made a relationship with all of them. And I'm not saying that Bill Belichick's probably not doing that. But from what we've heard, what we are led to believe, it's an assumption, it's just led to believe, they're a little different. They run it professional. There are professional relationships, but I wonder if there's the personable relationships that they're maybe accustomed to, and that may be a problem for a few people. And I can understand why, you know. And DJ Ray, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I would say that I disagree personally, and I disagree with the fact that we haven't saw the field yet. We saw a little bit, but I wasn't personally there for that. I know I saw some videos that people posted out, but I don't know what this team's going to be like this season. I don't think any of us do because there are so many variables out here that we just there's a ton of equations out here that we don't have all the variables for. Normally, when we come into a season, we kind of have an idea of what's going on. That's the consistency of a program that isn't going through a head coaching change. This one is. You talked to Indiana last year, they're probably thinking, what are we going to be? Maybe we're a little bit better than what we were, and boom, they're in the playoffs. Vice versa. There were some teams that had brand new head coaches. They're like, man, I think we're going to be really good, and they end up not being, but they end up being after a while. So I'm more or less on the feeling and of the belief that this is going to be a little bit of a process, and we're going to have to feel this thing out. I do believe there's a lot of confusion, and there's a lot of trying to figure out what you have and what you don't. They're figuring that out. They may like certain guys better than they like others. There's still a lot of studs on this team. Two of your best are gone. That hurts. That definitely hurts. But that doesn't mean that there's not guys that can step up. The linebacker room worries me a little bit right now because you lost Caleb LaValle before Belichick really even stepped foot in the house. You lost him, and he played great in that bowl game, and he had shown promise. You lost Cade and Cruz Law, who Cade had saw the field consistent. I think every game he saw the field. Cruz, not so much. Every once in a while. Michael Short was a guy who looked like a young stud, like a guy that could step up even after Amari Campbell left. Power Eccles is gone. He's signed with the team. And you have what's old buddy? You brought in Kamari House. You get the linebacker right from Missouri, the Nebraska-Missouri transfer in Geber and Bayer. I think I settled on his name. And that room confuses me because I don't know the entire. I'm gonna need a roster for this year. I'm 100% gonna need a roster with the numbers because Jesus Christ, that worries me. The quarterback position has worried me. Kind of going to the next question right there. Who is your quarterback? I don't know. I'm of the belief of Gio Lopez is going to be the QB. I'm just of the belief that Gio is going to be the guy, especially. We don't know what's going to be happening with Max. Max is still in recovery. And everybody was like, oh, well, he didn't even see the field like that. He's still recovering from having his leg snapped in half in Minnesota. So I'm not worried about him not playing in the spring dash or whatever the heck they call that thing. Bryce Baker, true freshman. He has a lot of potential. I've heard nothing but praise about that kid, about how he could be your next Sam Drake, but he may need a year to sit back behind. And even he was kind of expecting that, or expecting, I believe he was expecting that coming into the program. Then you bring in a guy like Gio Lopez, who had a year last year at South Alabama, playing the talent that he played, but still putting up some great numbers and was very consistent throughout his year. They're going to give I think now that Ryan Brown's gone, it's definitely going to be a race between those two guys to see who gets the start. I do believe that Gio's going to get it. That's my opinion. We will see. We got a long way to go before that. I think it's like 18, 19 Saturdays or something of that nature until we get it could be less than that now before we get the first college football games. And we play on that Monday night after everybody's done started. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen there. North Carolina is in my opinion is don't get too attached to anybody just yet. Let's not get attached to anybody just yet. Even guys that we were attached to, they could leave, and a good number of them have. And that doesn't mean that the world's burning necessarily. It just, I'm of the belief, and you guys may be different. I'd love to hear your opinions on it. I'm of the belief that a lot of this is going to be cost of doing business. Some of it, difference in scheming, difference in mindset. And we're kind of in a position we just got to trust and see because none of us know what this team is going to be like. I don't. I have my thoughts of what it may be. And even they're pretty hazy right now. And I think that's just kind of where we are here. Carolina's a place that they're consistently going after guys. They're filling in needs at the positions that they need, especially defensive line was a heavy one. They went out there, they got a quarterback, they addressed that situation even after losing guys like Ryan Brown, and also having Zayd Lott decommit and go. I forget exactly where he went to, but you got Torrey Newkirk coming in, who we've heard. There's been multiple people talking about how this could potentially that he could be moved to a different position. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. The tight end room, I'm kind of curious to see how that goes too, because I'm not sure who's all there. I know we got the South Carolina transfer. You still got Jake Johnson there as well. You don't want to lose him because he's supposed to be the next one. Again, we'll see how that happens. Your wide receiver room is a big one to me because you don't want to lose those guys. Hurts losing Christian Hamilton. 100% hurts to lose him. They added some wide receivers. You lost Evan Haynes, who was a brand new guy, just got there. We don't really know what he was going to be. But you keep Jordan Shipp. You keep Chris Culliver. You keep those guys and let them just do their thing. Also, bless it. What's it, number 11? Or at least he was number 11. Paul Billups. I said Chauncey Billups. Paul Billups. Keep him. You want to keep him as well. You want to keep a lot of the recruits have come in. You know, they've brought in some good guys. So there's still a lot of talent on this team. Majority of it's young. This is going to be one of the younger teams North Carolina's had in a while. And we got to get used to that. You know, it's going to be a young team. We're going to see what they're going to be. Could they step up and end up being a rock star team? Yes. Could they be a team that, even to my standards, you know, and I set them pretty high. I said North Carolina should have won 9 games at the end of this season. Could they sneak under that? It's very possible so. And I'm starting to have to come to that reality because I just don't know what this team is. You know, with some of these guys that were on this team, like Beau, like Amari, a couple other guys, I felt a little bit more sure in saying, yeah, they should win 9 games. Maybe they don't. Maybe they are bowl eligible this year. And I think that this team has to be bowl eligible. Considering that schedule, we have to be bowl eligible at least. But even though there's a lot of change, there's a lot of newness, we're losing guys we don't want to see. Shout out to, I think it was Tommy Ashley of Inside Carolina, who called that the second Bill Belichick was brought in. Hey, don't be surprised if a bunch of guys that you like go, you know, for whatever reason. We're seeing that now. We're having to go through it as fans. And I know it's kind of grim looking at it, but let's see. This is going to be a topic we're going to revisit in 10 months. Actually, not even that long, like 5 months from now, 5-6 months from now. We'll see. You know, do we still have Cost? If you're talking about Caleb Cost, I do believe so. I do believe he is still with the team, and I believe he has won 100% because he's not with the baseball team. I think he's won 100% with football. But as far as I know, yes, he is still with the team. Could have transferred. I don't think he definitely hasn't transferred in this period. Now check the last one. He may have, but I'm pretty sure that so far he is still with North Carolina. But hey, I want to know your thoughts down there in the comments below. Be sure and let me know. Let's have this conversation even further. It's a lot of we don't know yet. We don't. And there's going to be a lot of people that are not comfortable with it. I'm not even the most comfortable with it myself. But we're going to try to keep you guys up to date with this as much as possible. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed my floral background that I have going on back here. I think it's pretty awesome myself. And if it wouldn't whitewash my camera, I would have done this earlier in the day, and you guys could have saw the ocean. We could have sat by the ocean and talked the roller coaster that is North Carolina sports. But also, again, be sure and go down to the comments below. Check out the video that I was asked to be a part of from the Ohio State podcast, where they asked me about Beau Atkinson, and they took the nickname Thor with them. So, you know, that was a parting gift to them from us. But they loved it. It was a good time. I enjoyed talking with them. Check out everything that they do if you guys plan on. I like checking on the players that leave from North Carolina and seeing where they go and seeing how they do. And I'll be checking in with Eric of the Ohio State podcast to see how they do that, and Chris Wilds to see how he does over there for them and how they like him. And I'm looking forward to this college football season. I really am. I'm really looking forward to the college football season, to seeing what happens. I'm ready to get there. I'm ready to see what this team's going to be like. It's going to be a running soap opera every single week. Let's just get used to it. With a Bill Belichick comes a lot. I think Bill just did a ABC interview, and they asked a question about how did him and his girlfriend meet, and there was some big deal. I don't know. It's somebody's going to make something out of something. So let's just get used to it. Let's strap in and have a fun time, because it's going to be quite a lovely day. We need to do the gosh, what is the Family Matters? Is that it? Is that the one I'm thinking of? I think so. Is that's the one? Everywhere you look, everywhere is a heart. We need to do an intro for that. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that for for UNC football. That's gonna be fun. Oh yeah, let's get it. Anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching. Be sure and share all this with all your North Carolina friends. Tell them to come over here, join the conversation. Let's get in here. Let's have a good time. And let's keep an eye on everything that's happening over at UNC, football-wise, basketball-wise, and basketball commitments have done pretty well. I will have to say that. They've done very well in the portal, potentially, as I fight through a yawn, potentially getting ready to add another guy, Stojakovic, I think that's how you say his name, out of Cal. So we'll see what happens there. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the spring, almost summer weather. We're almost there. I'm getting ready to be a year older, so I'm excited for that. And boy, it's going to be a good time. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And as always, go Heels.